That performance is by a musician with deep roots in Nova Scotia. That is superstar Canadian fiddler Natalie MacMaster, and she sent out that message of grief and support on Facebook to help soothe her fellow Nova Scotians. Well, our Chase team has reached Natalie in Douro. It's in Eastern Ontario, and she's there for a bit. Natalie, great to have you on the program, and I want to ask you right off the bat, that song which pulls at everybody's heartstrings, why choose Amazing Grace?
Amazing Grace is one of those pieces of music that has some sort of kind of a healing mystique about it. If you're singing the words in your head or not, if you're hearing the words or hearing the melody, it just has a powerful, recognizable, strong melody that just has a soothing or a cathartic kind of response for people.
Are you hoping it gives people strength? Because there are families in your home province that are having to do things they couldn't have imagined doing this early, writing obituaries.
I know. I think strength comes collectively. I think it's bits and pieces over time. I think it's the knowledge of people. I wanted to just contribute to the knowledge that, hey, we're here. Like, what can we do? We want you to know that we are attached to you in some deep way, even though we can't physically be there. And I think if enough people do that, or if this country responds as it has, I think it's really like sending a big, warm hug down to all those people. At least they will know that they are deeply thought of and cared for.
That collective strength, I bet it's going to be shown tomorrow during the vigil, the virtual vigil. Why was it important for you to be part of that?
Again, you know, if you know anything about Cape Bretoners or people from Nova Scotia, I of course come from Troy at Cape Breton Island, which is the area there. But Nova Scotia as a whole province is incredibly charitable and personable and connected. And I've witnessed that so in countless ways over the years. And so it's super important that is bred within me. I have to do this. As many of the fellow Nova Scotians have been molded in their lives, that's just what you do. You don't think about it. You just go to where the need is. And it's my homeland, and it is deeply rooted in my heart forever.
How do you explain that sense of incredible community, the desire to share with others in Cape Breton? How do you describe that to people when you travel who don't know about the spirit of Nova Scotia?
Well, I'll tell you this: traveling across the world, there are so many Nova Scotianers around the globe for varieties of reasons. And every time you come to someone who is from Nova Scotia, even if they're at the other end of the province, it's like, oh my.
Yeah.
From home, there's such an intense bond. It's incredible. And to explain that to other people, I think it's just an easy way to explain it is your neighbor. Look at your neighbor. You know your neighbor. If you saw your neighbor, 1,000 miles away, you'd feel this warmth and energy from it. It's similar to that in that province.
When you talk about the intense bond, here's what I'm wondering about. How different will it be in this time of COVID-19 for people in Nova Scotia not to be able to hug their neighbor and show their support that way?
Oh, that's a tough one. I do. That goes through my mind many, many times. Even hearing about other people who have mourning the loss of a father or a brother during this time. I don't know, that absence of physical touch. I mean, we all know the importance of that. So, again, we're in a very bizarre time in life, and I just hope that these little acts of outward emotion can somehow help create that feeling of this,
Yeah, it's so important, isn't it? And until you don't have the ability to do it, maybe you don't realize just how important it actually is. It's weird.
hope that they have people around them that I'm sure are there to comfort them physically.
Before you sign off, and it's been a pleasure, by the way, having you on the program, and everybody knows you across the country, would you like to play something for the people of Nova Scotia?
I certainly would. You know, years ago, when I was about 12 or so, I learned a piece of music called My Home, which in Gaelic translates as Mogahi. And it's a song that my grandmother would have sung. And I think of the beautiful souls who are Nova Scotian hearts that we lost. And I think of my own homeland of Nova Scotia, and this is the tune that comes to mind, so I'll share it with you now.